Hello, hi, welcome to another video, Walter Scott Prize for Historical Fiction 2026 longlist video. So this is the fifth video, the fifth book that I've read, and this video is all about Seascraper by Benjamin Wood. So if you saw my last video at the end, I said that I wasn't sure how I was going to react to this. It sounded like it was going to be fairly literary. Well, if you've seen any of my other videos, for the handful of you that do watch my videos, this may come as a bit of a shock, but I actually really liked it. It is on the literary side, and I do think we found, out of the last couple of years that I've been doing this anyway, the first shorter piece of literary work from the Walter Scott Prize that I actually really like. So a couple of years ago we had Absolutely and Forever. I was going to call it Always and Forever. Absolutely and Forever. Yeah, I just couldn't get along with that. I didn't mind it. Last year we had The Heart in Winter. Once again, it was all right, but I just couldn't get attached to it. Whereas this one, I really like. I mean, so don't get me wrong. In terms of story, maybe there's parts that, for me, I'm just missing as a bit of a simple reader. But, yeah, so, like, it's not up there with Venetian Vespers and The Matchbox Girl for me. They are my favourites. But this is actually still 5 stars for me, actually, which really does surprise me. So Seascraper follows a couple of days in the life of Tom Flett, or Thomas, sorry, Thomas. I suppose he doesn't mind Joan calling him Tom. So Thomas Flett, 20-year-old, living in this small town, Long Ferry, on the coast, and he's a sea scraper. Basically that means he goes out every morning, sometimes, again at low tide in the evening, if he hasn't made enough money, scraping the sea for shrimp. He collects these shrimp and then takes them to sell them, and that's his livelihood. This livelihood was kind of imposed on him from a young age, so from 13, 14. So his grandfather used to do this before him, and as his grandfather, I believe he had a stroke and wasn't as strong. He was still going out, but he wasn't as strong, so they pulled Thomas out of school at 13 years old, and he was kind of forced into this life. And like a lot of us, I really connected because he's longing for more. He's kind of in his situation that he didn't choose, but there's kind of no way out. I'm quite lucky, I think, because I don't hate my job. I actually don't mind it. In some respects, I like it. But a lot of us are just doing something for the money. We have to make that money to survive. And this is exactly the same as Thomas. So yeah, we follow him on this one day. He's going out doing his job, and he gets spotted by Edgar. Edgar is an American movie producer, director, and he spots him on the sea, and he wants to film a film, and he wants to use the beach, and he sees Thomas out there, and he's like, this is the guy that's going to show me around, tell me about the beach, tell me what I need to know so I've got, you know, the right ideas so I can film this film, blah, blah, blah. But we don't know that until Thomas finishes his shift for the morning, sells his shrimp, goes back home, and yeah, he goes in, his mum's there, and Edgar's there, taking him by surprise. Now, his mum is only 16 years older than Thomas, so she's 36, so she had him when he was really young. And their relationship is quite interesting as well, but I'll get onto that when I dive a bit deeper. And yeah, it comes to like that Edgar wants to make this film. He needs some knowledge about the beach because that's where he wants to film some of it. And he's been told that Tom is the guy to show him around. So he takes him out to the beach, shows him around. Has a bit of a journey of self-discovery on that part. The ending, actually, I felt quite interesting. And I wasn't expecting it, to be fair. I was thinking along the way, oh, you know, what's this Edgar about? Is he the real deal, or is he just trying to, you know, have Thomas's leg? But I really wasn't expecting the ending to go the way it did. And I didn't mind it, to be fair. I didn't mind the ending. I liked how it ended for Thomas. And I'll explain why. So looking a bit deeper into Seascraper, as I said, I really like the relationships in there. The relationship between Tom and Edgar, but also between Tom and his mum. So here we have Edgar presumably living the life of Riley, doing what he loves, getting paid to do what he loves. And we get a sense of jealousy from Tom. You know, he would love to be able to do what he loves and earn a living. So Tom likes to play the guitar. He's been practicing on his own. He hasn't really told anyone. He hasn't told his mum. He hides his guitar out the back where they keep the horse, because he doesn't, I don't know if it's an embarrassment, but he just knows she'll judge him. You know, you can't make a living from doing that. You need to go and, you know, make money for the family. So he's looking towards Edgar, being like, wow, this guy is doing what he loves and making a life from that. But we see how that maybe isn't always presented as the truth. You know, how we all just put on, not a brave front, but like a front to people of how much better things are than they really are. You know, since the age of social media, everyone's, oh yeah, you know, life's so great on social media, and especially Instagram. Look at all these lovely pictures. But really, is this just a front we're putting up to other people? And then we have the relationship between Tom and his mum. And I don't know if I connected to this a bit more. It doesn't really remind me exactly of my upbringing. My mum was 20 when she had me, but my dad left when we were quite young. We struggled slightly. I did leave school at 16 after I did my exams. I went to work. I was helping pay towards bills and stuff at the age of 16. But here, Tom, yeah, he's been doing the sea scraping since he was 13. And as a reader, you feel like the parent, the mother, should be feeling bad about how she treats Tom, you know, bringing him out of school before he's done his exams with no hope of doing anything else but the job he's doing, making him go out every day to earn this money so the family can survive. When in reality, you know, it's, you know, she makes Tom feel bad for her. You know, oh, I didn't choose this life. I couldn't help it. I had a mouth to feed. I'd have quite easily given up if it wasn't for you. You've made me carry on, so you need to be the one to go and, you know, provide for the family. And yeah, it's a really interesting dynamic between both of those relationships, between Tom, Edgar, Tom and his mother. That, yeah, struck a chord of familiarity with me, I think, and that's maybe why I got on with the story a bit more. In a deeper dive, so the story really does go into a sort of evaluation of human life and how we find ourselves at maybe an invisible barrier. You know, we want to do something else, we want to go further, but we just can't. So we just find small tolerable details in life to keep us going and just help every day pass. And especially when we think something's changing, something might be happening, our luck might be changing, and how reality comes in and smacks us like a fist in the face and tears it all back down again. But what I really love, you know, even though Thomas experiences something like this, is the way he finally dusts himself off and says, do you know what? To hell with it. I am going to change my life. I don't know how, but instead of just feeling, well, I can't, you know, being like, I can't do it, there's no possibility of doing it, he's now, actually, I can do it. I don't know how, but I am going to try. You know, there's this girl that he likes, the sister of his best friend, and he's always a bit of a nervous wreck around her. And at the end, we see him actually pulling the courage to actually talk to her and, you know, try and build something that he's wanted for a long time, to ask her out to go to the pictures, which I thought was, you know, really sweet. And yeah, I didn't mind the ending. I've seen a video where a person didn't necessarily like the ending, but I quite liked it. I thought it was quite poignant for the story being told. So as always, I pick a few bits from the book just to read to you that I quite enjoyed. So the first part. So here we have Tom in his songwriting process, where he's had a bit of a change in his life, and this has spurred him to actually do something. And it reads, it bleeds out of him so quickly. He's already dreamed the music. All he has to do is hang his feelings on the frame of it, make each word resonate with the guitar's melodic changes, let them gain their own momentum. And I really love that sort of insight into the songwriting process, but also how it stems from Tom's experience that he's just had and how it reflects the change in Tom from what we saw right at the beginning of the novel. And there was also another second bit that I wanted to read. So this bit comes after Tom's had his revelation about his place in the world, and it reads, this little snippet of the coastline he relies on for his livelihood does not belong to him or anybody, but it's always there, preceding him, outlasting him for sure, and he can recognise his loyalty to the ghosts who will walk along it. He can even manage to respect himself for being steadfast to the work, but there's no meaning in it anymore. It doesn't matter to the sea who visits it, or to the shrimp who scrapes them from the sand. A song though, well, yes, a song belongs to someone. And yeah, I just thought that was really beautiful, and how it encapsulates Tom's experience and how it encapsulates Tom's, you know, story at the end. Yeah, it's really beautiful. And also a really nice touch, which I quite like, on the last page, it directs you to Benjamin Wood's website, where you can listen to the song Seascraper related to the book. So I'm guessing this is set late 50s, early 60s. It doesn't, I don't think it actually says specifically, but that's the hints we get with him and his mum going to see Lady and the Tramp in the cinema, which I believe was 1955, and the talks of Elvis in his heyday. But I find having that song there such a nice little touch, and I did go and listen to it, and yeah, it really encapsulates, it's got the lyrics that were written by Thomas in the book. Yeah, just really finishes it off nicely, the whole experience, the whole reading experience. As I said, I did have a bit of an emotional connection to this book. It's still not, as I say, it's not in my top, because it is maybe just on the literary side for me, but still I appreciate it, and is that, yeah, I still recommend this as being 5 stars, because I loved the reading experience of it. Yeah, it was really pretty. I don't know what else to say. I'm shocked by it, to be honest. I wasn't really sure how I was going to react to the book, especially after seeing a review of it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really sweet, really nice, really poignant, really sad, but also a little bit uplifting as well. So anyway, that's Seascraper. Am I going to try and read another book in a week and a half? I'm going to try it. Let's do it before the shortlist is announced. That'll make me halfway through the long list before the shortlist is announced. What am I going to read? So the 2 Roberts and Helm, I kind of think I want to leave, because I don't know, something inside me tells me that they're most likely going to be on the shortlist. So if I keep those for when the shortlist is announced. And The Pretender as well, I think, could reach the shortlist. So at the moment I've got Once Adelia's Done and Boundary Waters that I could choose from. I'll choose one of them probably. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Seascraper. If you've read it, let me know what you think. Did you like it? Did you think it was a bit too literary? Did you enjoy the song part, the aspect of it, to, you know, something tie the whole experience off together? Let me know. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.